guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Leonardo figure from Playmates. So continuing my look at this awesome new line of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures comes the leader and king of the katana swords, Leonardo. Leo comes packaged on that brand new Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles blister card packaging, featuring the awesome New York City display in the background in those bright purple and green colors. The back of that package gives us a bio for Leonardo, as well as an image of the character from the new animated series. And below that is a look at all of the other figures available in this first wave. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at Leonardo outside of his packaging. Now this action figure line is in the 5-inch scale, but if you've watched any of my other turtle reviews, then you already know that the cool thing about these is that the 5-inch scale is actually more fit for the humans in the line, whereas all of the turtles are a bit shorter than that. I think it's really great that Playmates went the extra mile to really scale these guys appropriately. So the 4 turtles actually vary between 3.5 inches to 4.5 inches tall. And yes, all 4 turtles are a different height. The 4 figures use completely unique sculpts from each other. So I think that is another thing that Playmates really did right with this line. So taking a look at the sculpt on the Leonardo, you can see all kinds of really cool details. His front half has lots of scratches and dings in it as if he's really battle-worn. There's some really nice detailing in the skin, some good textures there that you can see on his arms and his legs. The skin tone is a little darker than what we've seen with both Michelangelo and Donatello, who are brighter and kind of more of a pale green. So Leonardo is a much deeper green than those two are. One of the other differences I noticed on him is he's actually wearing white wraps around his wrists and feet, whereas the other turtles are all wearing brown wraps. So I don't know if that's one of those things that kind of helps him stand out a little more as the leader of the team, but it is kind of a cool touch. Now there's really no extra shading or detailing or anything like that in the colors. They're all pretty flat and basic, but they do still look really nice. Of course, Leonardo is wearing the blue bandana, which is his signature color. And you can see that the pupils and the eyes are all whited out, so it's a really cool nod to the old comic books and the vintage toy line. In fact, the overall feel of all of these turtles has a very comic feel to them, even though these are the figures from the new animated series. Now the articulation on these guys is another thing that I really like. So Leonardo's head is able to turn left and right, and it does slightly rock around a bit. He's got ball-like joints at the shoulders, allowing for up and down, forward, backward movement. Swivels right at the elbow, as well as a single elbow joint, and a swivel at the wrist. He has hinge joints at the thighs there, allowing for good split motion and forward and backward movement. He has a swivel right underneath the knee, as well as a single knee joint. So there's quite a bit of articulation here, which is really something Playmates has not always been known for, and it works very well for getting some really great poses out of the figure. Another thing that I really like on these guys is all of the turtles are flat-footed, so we don't have any of those really annoying battle stances that make the figures hard to stand up, which is something that Playmates was always known for with the previous incarnations of the Turtles. So I very much like the new flat-footed look that we've got with all of these figures. Now, as far as weapons go, Leonardo does include his signature katana blades. He has 2 of them. The weapons are both molded in a solid silver color, so there's no added paint detail or anything like that, but I guess that's another thing that's kind of similar to what we saw with the vintage figures. They had no details on the weapons. The swords can easily fit in both of his hands, and he holds on rather tight. The swords are not too gummy. They're actually pretty sturdy, so you don't have to really worry about them warping or bending or anything like that. Another cool thing is Leonardo does feature tooth sheaths on the back of his shell that's attached to his belt, so you could store both of his katana blades right there on his back. Now, in addition to those katana blades, he actually comes with this plastic tree full of additional weapons, which is another cool nod to the vintage figure line. Now, unlike the other turtles, all of his weapons are done in that solid silver color instead of brown like the others. And that's because he's mostly got bladed weapons here, so the silver works very well. So he comes with a larger sword that you can use in place of those katana blades. He has what appears to be a smaller handheld dagger. He has 2 throwing blades and ninja stars. So it's a really cool assortment of various weapons that give you lots of other options for posing the figure, and this will also be great for the kids who want to play with the characters because now you've got all these different weapons that Leonardo can use to beat up the foot. Alright guys, it's comparison time. Here's Leonardo standing alongside the vintage figure, which of course is probably the most notable of all of the previous Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures. You can see that the scales are very similar, but you can also see the big differences in the styles and the colors between the two figures. And here's Leonardo standing alongside the Toon Turtles version, also from the vintage line, which was a much brighter and goofier incarnation of the character. Here's Leonardo standing alongside the vintage movie star Leonardo, based on his appearance from the live-action films. And here's Leonardo standing alongside the 2003 version of Leonardo, another update. And lastly, here he is standing alongside the very cool comic-styled Leonardo from NECA Toys. Looking at Leonardo standing with all of his other counterparts, it's really cool just to see all the different changes that have occurred over the years between the different styles for the Ninja Turtles. But they all still look like a Ninja Turtles figure. And I think this new one stands out as one of the better sculpts. So there you go guys, there's a look at the brand new Nickelodeon Leonardo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The lack of paint on the weapons and maybe a little bit of detail on the actual turtle himself probably could have helped this figure, but I'll tell you what, I am still very happy with this. The articulation works great, I really love the sculpt, especially on Leonardo here, and I think that these figures just have that fun factor. I think a lot of the kids are going to pick these up and it's going to help them get into Ninja Turtles just like we did when we were kids, and I really like that idea. Now stay tuned because I'm going to be taking a look at many other figures in this brand new line of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures. And this Leonardo and all of these other ones are starting to hit store shelves right now. So happy hunting, and until next time.